I often get the question, Lawrence, why did you buy the Canyon Spectral? Is it simply because it is so cheap or because it's actually a really good bike? Well, for me, the answer was kind of both. So here's what I love and hate about my Spectral. First up is the frame. I think it looks amazing in most colorways and it's also really affordable compared to other bikes in this category. It's a really good performing frame with really good suspension kinematics, but the seat mast is a little bit taller than I would like, which means you can't really play with frame sizing very much. Also, not everybody loves the way the seat mast looks, but I personally kinda like it. Bearings on full suspension frames are really important, and Canyon has done an amazing job hiding them and sealing them with dust covers everywhere. It really makes the bike look super clean. However, the rear pivot bolts require the rear wheel to be removed to simply do a bolt check, which is something you should do before every ride. And you also need to take out the entire suspension linkage near the shock to check its bearings. The main pivot bearing is also really hard to reach, more about that later. The suspension is an asymmetrical design which allows for 2x drivetrains. Now, I haven't yet seen anyone run a 2x Spectral, but it means the main pivot isn't as wide and therefore as stiff as it could possibly be. This also means the drive side of the main pivot bolt can actually come loose, and it's a nightmare to tighten because there is a dust cover on it which you can't easily reach, and in a race scenario it actually caused me to lose a lot of time and the little bolt that holds the dust cover in place. There are two options for mounting water bottles on this frame. There's a low setting and a high setting, as well as a very special Spectral dual bottle system that you can buy separately. But it's really hard to get a bottle in and out regardless of whether you put it in the low or in the high setting, and this is a size XL frame, so it should have most room of all. Talking about room, this lunchbox is a great idea for carrying tools, spares, maybe lunch, but actually it's too small to carry important items such as an inner tube or a decent sized multi-tool, let alone your lunch. It makes me have to strap everything to the outside of the frame, giving me that full enduro look that you really shouldn't go for. Next up is the Impact Protection Unit, or IPU, which prevents your handlebars from turning around, ripping brake hoses or smashing your controls into your top tube, all that sort of stuff. If you do happen to crash, the IPU can move around a little bit, limiting your steering movement in a certain direction. Again, this happened to me in a racing scenario. One of the best things about the Spectral frame is the down tube protector that doubles as some sort of fake integrated wiring cover. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But Canyon got a little bit lazy near the end of it, especially at the bottom bracket, where your hoses and shifter cable are just zip tied together and they really rub on the frame, going straight through the paint before I even noticed it. So despite these 7 points of criticism, this is still an amazing bike, especially at the price. I would definitely recommend it. But with this video, I hope Canyon will really address those issues. Now, more importantly, if you know of any other issues, please let me know in the comments down below. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.